And welcome to Healthcare Sucks. As we use the Fair Use Act tonight, we're getting that right out of the way. Everything's an illusion, but it's not. And we're going to jump into that one story I told you about. The money, the stimulus. And I think I've made it very clear, but I'm going to make it clear one last time and then I'll shut up. It's all for one, one for all. The common Joes need it. The seniors, the disabled need it. The homeless need it. The mentally ill need it. If they're going to give it to people that make up to $75,000 for the full benefit, that are on salaries, guys, that are still getting paid their salaries, then it needs to be one for all and all for one. Period. And you can hear the anger. Oops. Bit touchy. I broke the rule. It's not going to be, if they don't do it that way, then I have to agree with the Democrats tonight. Let's just flush the whole thing. We're done with it. And so far, I want to make it very clear, the only ones they are clarifying that's going to get this, and you're going to hear about it, is like cruise lines and stuff. They're not even registered in America. So we're giving money away to other places and other countries now out of this trillion or $2 trillion now, which, by the way, is going to take people that pay taxes. I had somebody run the numbers. If you pay a third, you're going to pay a half of your income check, of your checks, give or take, in the future. It's just probably the rest of your life. Okay. And if you pay a quarter, it's going to bump up to a third. So anyway, it's going to get ridiculous for the common man. Then they're going to tax all kinds of other things that they're not even talking about this. And they talk about paybacks, this, paybacks, that, unless it's to do with keeping things going. Well, keeping things going for Wall Street means they just make more money. Keeping things going for rich business owners so they can make more money? I don't think so. Now, as far as the employees and all that, I agree. Let's give them the benefits. Let's give them whatever they need. This whole thing is going to get wacky. Mark my word. We're going to talk about this later on. And what I'm telling you right now, if they don't do it correctly, then not only the president kiss his presidency run goodbye, but so can all the Democrats on their side, the way things are going too. I mean, everybody could have negotiated this, but it sounds to me like it just no bipartisan. Left went right, right went left, and you know what I'm saying. Everybody just said no. Now again, I'm going to stress one last time: if they're not going to give it to us all, then screw the banks. Screw, Wall Street. You know what I mean? We need that money. We need that money. My 2 cents worth. If you agree or disagree, let me know. Here we go.
Exclusives. Thanks for watching.
Of course. It just has to make We already covered this, my friends, so here it is. I want you to hear it.
Should inform our viewers that a potential deal, a more than $1 trillion stimulus package that we thought was coming together, there was going to be a procedural vote. At this point, it seems as though no deal tonight against the backdrop of this.
That is absolutely my biggest takeaway. Over the weekend, I've been speaking to business leaders, banking executives who said it sounds like things are getting closer and closer. They're in close contact with Secretary Mnuchin. But the fact that no deal happened tonight, that's devastating for individuals, small and big businesses alike. So let's start with individuals. The president said right there how much he cares about the American people. This is obviously not their fault, and they'll be getting checks. We've heard the proposal from the White House, $1,200 to people who make up to $75,000. But Without a deal, they're not going to be getting that. As far as small businesses goes, they have extended small business loans to include even more businesses, a bigger number. But think about the logistics. These are loans, they're not grants. We are 1 week away from credit cards being due, from rent having to be paid. Small businesses are any businesses with 500 people or less. So yes, there's more availability for loans, but we don't know what are getting.
And let's just come right out and say it. We gave money to the banks last time. They ended up giving golden parachutes and everything on everybody. It's time the banks give back to America. I'm just going to say it straight out. The damn banks can eat it on the debt. They can eat it on everything. Let me tell you how this credit thing is all a big. It's like the stock market. It's all fiction, guys. And they get people just a little so that you think, okay, and then they give you your little TV. You get a car eventually. If you're real lucky, you get to have a house. You might never pay for it at 30 years at whatever percentage. I mean, and of course they take their cut off the top. That's how these things work, of course. And the credit cards in that like 20 to 30%, unless you're in a good bracket. Even then, it's not like the banks. The banks go get money at 0 or 3%. And then they turn around and screw us. No, 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 no. No. This is our opportunity, guys. Let's let the wheels fall off the car once. Then let's all talk about putting the wheels back on the way it should be done. Equally. Equally for them, the 1%, equally for us, the 99%. This is our opportunity. I kid you not. Like when Occupy and the 99% thing was out there and it could have went somewhere, but they couldn't get it together. I want to spread the word. If this doesn't take care of us and they're not going to take care of us, let it crash. We can from the ashes, guys, we can build a better and a new. Don't kid yourselves. This is all an illusion. Things will get back up. Things will survive. What won't is if they don't give us food, if they don't give us everybody across the board a check to go get things that they need. If what that means right now, guys, let me touch on that. Let's just say 1,000 for every person and 500 per kid. Right now, the people that can't go buy stuff, or that, most of us live check to check, that went and bought what we could go out and buy some stuff so that maybe we get through this a little easier. And maybe, get something for ourselves to make us happy during this transition. And if they're going to take it away from us, I say we take it back from them. We cut the legs out from underneath them too. We let the stock market crash into the dirt. And we let the banks, definitely we let the banks crash. I'm not for people losing their monies in the 401ks and all that. I hope to God that there's some kind of protection thing out there for everybody. This is not the great Enron part 2. And I know a lot of people are frightened to death over that. After this, though, as we move on, no matter what happens, a word to the wise. No more putting your money in these kind of things. If we should have all learned from Enron, and we should have learned from how the banks took the monies and didn't do nothing for the people. If we repeat this again right now with the banks and give them the monies and we bail all this out and we don't teach them a lesson, they don't learn a lesson, they never will. And for ourselves, from now on, don't trust them. Don't put your monies in those kind of things ever again after this, because they are not trustworthy, guys. We're all going to find out how this comes out. And I really do hope and pray that people that have their monies into those 401s and all this other fictional stuff that's out there on the wide world of fictional internet, don't forget, they just lost the biggest bet, one of the biggest bets, the coronavirus bet. The virus bonds crashed because they didn't they didn't mature and they didn't get paid for it. Wasn't that a shame? They all gambled that people were going to be sick or not be sick. I think they do that anyway, but this was obviously the worst. So, no, let's not give them a help back up. I'm just not for it. I mean, you guys can say what you have to say, and I'll be happy to share it with all of us, whatever you guys say. But unless one for all for one, down. And with that, we're going to end this video and go on to some more news. And healthcare sucks. And so does this BS. I mean, literally. It's just BS. Let's listen to the last couple minutes and then I'll just hang up.
Past or the logistics to get any of this money to those companies. And now the third leg would be big business. So publicly traded companies. I invite you to look at Dow futures. They're down over 900 already, and that's since the president started speaking. And he still is saying select businesses, right? He mentioned there the cruise industry. He said how important it was economically, specifically to Florida, and what a big employer that was. And that's true. But I invite you to look. The three largest cruise lines are not registered in the United States. They're registered in Liberia, Panama, and Bermuda. So we know there's going to be a lot of public pushback around these quote unquote corporate bailouts because they're not across the board for industries. It's for select industries. And one of the things we heard from Democratic lawmakers today, there's not enough details in what these bailout packages will be. And one of the gripes in 2008 were banks were bailed out and it worked out for executives and stock buybacks happened, but it didn't trickle down. Now, the president mentioned he didn't want to see stock buybacks, but again, we just don't know the details. And the fact that we don't have details and no deal signed, that means no money's going through. Not yet.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe.
And with that, my friends, this is Healthcare Sucks. And we're jumping right into another video. Because there's some serious stuff going on out there, guys. God bless you. Let me know how you feel. I really want to know, guys. I'm very disappointed in the whole thing.